Hey guys, Joe here from XFoxGames. Check it out. We got, of course, xshot's Chaos Meteor. This is the Royal Edition. If you guys remember earlier, we already did a review on this particular blaster, but just kind of the regular edition, if you want to call it that. So really, if you want to get a more in-depth review, you guys can check it out here. Again, we go over this thing, FPS, all that good stuff, because pretty much they're the same blaster. It's just, right, this one is the gold edition. So we won't go into too much in-depth. We'll still cover it a little bit, but still, if you want to check out the original, again, check it out right there if you want more in-depth info. So, yeah, this Royal Edition, you know, we saw this at our local Target store, and I was kind of on the fence about getting it, right? I was like, well, I already have the blaster, but the gold sure looks, it looks pretty crazy. And, you know, the more that I look at it and have it out in the sun and kind of shoot them in our backyard and things like that, it is so shiny. I mean, look at this. You guys can just kind of see. This thing is so shiny. Especially, you know, right now, it's during the summertime, and this thing is just, you know, is blinding people from 20 yards away, you know, when you kind of move it, and you can kind of be seen pretty easily, but still, the gold edition is just nuts. Now, this is kind of a dual pack. So we do get two of them, which is awesome. This one I do have a little scope on here, or a little red dot, which we'll talk about here in a second. But having two of these, oh man, is awesome. I wish there was a way that you could kind of cock it and slide it back by the tops with the other blaster. Very similar to the Nerf's, well, these the DPEs, I believe, or something like that. But I wish you could do that, but you can't. So you kind of got to, you know, go like this to load them. But again, that's something we'll talk about here in a second. But nonetheless, you know, these kind of gold series are the Royal Edition. I call them the gold series. But still, I think they look awesome. I mean, I haven't seen anything like this on any other blaster that I'm aware of, unless it's, you know, non-mainstream or something like that. But I have not seen anything like this. If there is, leave it in the comments because I'm very curious. Now, if we take a look at the box, the actual front of the box, it's awesome, right? I mean, I think they displayed it great. They got the nice, kind of rounds right there, which I think is kind of cool. Again, I just use any rounds for this particular blaster, but still, I think the way they displayed it in the front of the box is awesome. Now, again, these things shoot 100 FPS, which is actually more than some of the rival stuff that I've been seeing. The Nerf rival tend to shoot around 90, 95, which is really good. This particular blaster, again, as well with the Orbit. Let me pull this up here. The Orbit, if you guys remember when we did this, if you guys again want to check it out, the Orbit, this thing again, these things just shoot hard, 100 FPS to 105 FPS out of the box. We'll show a little bit of a shooting video here in a little bit, but they do have, you can see on the back of the box, they do have, again, a big close-up of the Meteor itself, but they also in the right-hand corner, they also show the Orbit Gold Edition, which I haven't seen in my local Target, so I'm going to try and do a little more investigation to kind of figure out what's going on with that, because I would love a Gold Edition or a Royal Edition of the Orbit, right? That's just me, but I don't know. Whenever we pick that up, I think it would be awesome if I can pick it up. Nonetheless, the box, still cool. I'll probably end up throwing it away, but still, you know, they display it very well. Now, if we look at just the straight aesthetics of this, right, it's a great feeling blaster in the hands. The Meteor has always been something that, you know, when I feel it, I was like, man, it's light, it feels good, the weight distribution is great, and they didn't, I think, overdo it when it comes to the little rivets and the cuts and the divots in it. They really didn't overdo it, which I think is awesome. But again, gosh, look at the reflectiveness on it. It is just sick. One of the things that I'm hoping this does not do is, you know, with the Nerf Ultra series, you know, they have kind of the same kind of gold overlay or whatever it is, the kind of filming on the Ultra on the side. But you can see, or maybe you guys can't see, I'll pull it up here. You can see how it kind of flakes off, right? The parts that you tend to grab or move or might bump into something tend to flake off, and then you're just kind of like, oof, okay, now it's more like a chromish. So I don't know if they use the same plating on these ones, only time will tell. I've used this probably now for about a week, shot, I don't know, 100, 150 rounds through it, and I haven't noticed anything on these where there's scratching or flaking happening, but we will see. This particular Ultra Blaster I've used quite a bit. I mean, probably 300 shots through this thing, if not more. So we're going to see, only time will tell. So I do hope, you know, yeah, I do hope that these don't flake like the Ultra series do, because if they don't, that's awesome. I'd hate for this thing to flake and just be like, wow, okay, now you have a chrome slash goldish blaster out there. Now, this does come with 2 extra sticker sheets, very similar to the original blaster when you got it. So you can really customize it to, you know, put your stickers wherever you want them. I actually didn't end up sticking any of the stickers that I got on my particular blaster because, to be honest, I liked how it looked just straight out of the box, right? I didn't need any extra fanciness on the thing because the thing was just an absolute beast. Again, 100 feet per second is insane. It's really, really good. It's kind of on the top tier of some of the blasters, but the price on these things were cheaper than some of the stuff that shoots 90 to 95, which is kind of crazy. If we take a look at the top, one of the things that I always kind of was like about this blaster is it only has 1 tactical rail, if you want to call it that. Now, the thing about this tactical rail is it doesn't actually have the grooves underneath where you can get those little hooks to kind of clip in. It has a little bit of a recess point, but I don't think it was really meant for accessories. One of the things that I was like, oh man, is anything you have that is Nerf related, this tactical rail on the top here is too big for your Nerf attachment. So this ain't gonna work, right? You're not gonna be able to slide that on there. But that's why I put the red dot on here, is because the red dot for a normal, tactical rail width, it tended to fit, even though, again, those indents on the side aren't really recessed enough to really grab it. I haven't had an issue with this unless I hit something and then the thing would fall off. But, you know, again, I think it's more there for looks than anything. So just kind of keep that in mind, that it sits, but it's not going to stay that well. And if you really torque it down, you're probably going to, you know, damage some of that gold plating on there. So if we look at the actual kind of individual pieces itself, you know, one of the biggest things about this blaster is that internal magazine. So again, you know, really just to put your balls in there or your rounds is you just pretty much pull that clip piece down. It'll lock into place. You could feed 2, 3, 4 rounds in there. You could actually shove quite a bit. Hit the little button right there, which drops or raises back up the magazine and pushes it in there. So, you know, again, it's the same mechanism as before. Now, it does come with a whole bunch of rounds here. They're kind of XShot, kind of little balls, very similar, of course, to, yeah, the Nerf Rival stuff. And to be honest, I haven't noticed a difference between these and or the Nerf Rival stuff and or the generic stuff. They all shot the same. They all shot very well. One of the only things I did notice about this blaster, which is, again, very similar to the original blaster that we had, is, you know, sometimes if you get a ball that is a little bit smaller in circumference than, say, one of the standard ones or one of the Nerf ones are a little bit too big or too small, is the air restrictor inside tended to not let all the air out, and it would only shoot it, you know, half the FPS or if at all. And so if you guys remember, in this video right here, we actually ended up taking out the air restrictor, and we actually did that for our orbit as well, because it was just one of the things we noticed is we loved it when it shot normal, but it was just inconsistent, and it's one of the things that drove us crazy. So after taking out the air restrictor, we noticed that it was a more consistent shot, and if you did happen to get a ball that was maybe a little bit smaller than the rest of them, it would shoot 80 FPS or 85, not 20. So for me, that was great because I didn't have any more jams, and it just shut out, and it was great. That was the only thing that I could recommend. It kind of bugged me about this blaster, but also, again, the tactical rail here not being a true tactical rail. So let's take a look at me shooting this particular blaster. Again, it is nothing new. Pretty much cock it back, shoot it, and again, it shot 100 FPS, right around 100 FPS all day long. Some of them were even hotter than that, and I was like, woo, that thing is smoking. And again, it's a light blaster. It feels really good in the hands. There is no bump fire, right? If you do take out the air restrictor, you can load 2 of them in the breech, but shooting singly, I noticed, is perfectly fine. I never actually had an issue with it. But I don't think you're going to have an issue with this particular blaster if you pick these up, especially, again, if you guys do have the stock blaster and you want to bump up the look to kind of the Royal / Gold Edition. I don't think you guys are going to, right? I don't think you guys are going to complain about it. I haven't seen these on our local battlefield yet, and they're readily available around us. So, and they're reasonably priced. So I think I will see these sooner or later out there, but I haven't seen any yet. But I think I will in the future, and I cannot wait until the Orbit gets the Royal Edition, or it has a Royal Edition. I just haven't been able to pick one up yet or see one at my local store. And I think someone's going to go for those more than these, I believe. I could see carrying one of these And then, you know, maybe it's your sidearm, or some people maybe use this as a primary. Again, completely up to you. But I think once the orbit, or I'm able to get my hands on the orbit, I'm going to like that one a little bit, you know, a little bit better. But overall, guys, dude, these things rock. I love the look. It is totally unique right now in the foam flinging community. Other than some people who I think who have the full gold versions, which are just sick, and I wish I could get one of those. So XShot, if you guys are watching, send me them. I would love to have some of those. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think of these things. And again, always, if you guys have these things, leave it in the comments. Let me know, is your gold flake, is it flaking off? Is it not flaked off? You know, is yours shooting 100 FPS? Let me know, because I'm always curious to see what you guys and the fans out there are kind of getting with these particular blasters, you know, around the same specs and whatnot. Anyways, guys, definitely subscribe if you guys haven't already. And again, check out the original video we did on the original blaster if you guys are curious about that, to get a more in-depth review. But still, I would say pick these things up if you want to kind of stand out from the crowd. Both performance, price, all that stuff really locks into place, and you get 2 of them, right? Give one to your brother, your sister, your friend, so you can go out and have a little bit of war. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Thanks again, Fox fans.